welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Paradise of Flowers. I bought this with my own money, but he's basically this guy who has like an indie business online, a small business, and he screen prints t-shirts for people from different fandoms. So I ordered two of his Twilight shirts, or his two Twilight shirts. So dramatic, and it looks like art. Like, it's just gorgeous. And I'm excited. I was like, why not wear it for this video? Even though this video is a spring and summer book recommendations video, and this is more like autumn winter. But you know what? Twilight is relevant year round, and that is the tea on that. So today I'm here with some recommendations. I've seen some other people make this video, and I wanted to make my own. I don't have every single recommendation on here. Of course, you know, I recommend like The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. That's a really standard summer one. Let's get started with the recommendations. I have some new adult, I have some young adult. Let me start with the two that you've probably heard of, but I just need to mention them. The first is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This is a debut novel, new adult. A lot of people say it's for fans of The Summer I Turned Pretty and Love in Other Words. Definitely agree with those comps. Basically about this young woman who grew up going to this lake house every summer. She lived next door to these two brothers and fell in love with one of them. Now it's been like 10 or 11 years and they haven't talked, and she's back in town. So this is told in two different timelines, the present day and the past, seeing them, you know, all the summers leading up to the now. The vibes, the nostalgia, the author lives in Canada. This takes place in Canada on Barry's Bay, which I think is a real place, and you can feel the love that the author has for the place. And I just love atmospheric reads, like where I feel like I'm actually in the setting and I want to be there. So honestly, just for the vibes, I would pick this book up. But yeah, the romance in here is great. It's emotional. It's more emotional than I thought it would be. Her second book, Meet Me at the Lake, is about to come out. I'm so excited to read it. So that's my first recommendation for spring, summer. I'm mashing them all together. The second you may have heard of as well. It's called The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I read both of these last spring, summer. This one is a young adult. It takes place the summer after college. It's about a girl who goes to Martha's Vineyard every year. This year she's going along with another family because her cousin's getting married. Huge group trip. And she starts to fall for this guy from the other family. They are also partners in this huge game of assassin, which was so much fun to read about. It was so interesting. I was intrigued to see like who was gonna get out and who was gonna win. I'm not kidding. Like, it made me want to play assassin. Like, someone recently told me that they were going to play assassin, and I was like, I wish I could come because it sounds like so much fun. Again, the atmosphere, the setting, Martha's Vineyard, the vibes, being on the lake, so great. I might reread this summer. It was so good. And this takes place, like I said, the summer after high school, and I would say this is more like upper YA. It's not spice, but it's teetering on the edge of something, so just so you know. Okay, the next one I have here is straight up YA. This is called A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey, which I am so freaking excited for the movie, which has already been written, it's already been shot. I'm so excited. I know Mia Rafiko is gonna play the protagonist. I believe her name is Leela, and I haven't seen Mia in anything per se, but just even her look and her vibe seems like she might match Leela, so I'm excited. This one is about a girl who is Cuban, who lives in Miami. She wants to be a pastry chef, and her parents sent her to London for the summer, and she just has all these adventures and falls in love and meets family that she's not very close to. And again, the vibes, the atmosphere. If you can't tell, like, I love vibes. I love atmosphere. I love setting. I love feeling like I'm immersed in this place and like desperately wishing I could go. Like, I'm not kidding. I got the opportunity to go to Barcelona a couple years ago, and I had my friend recreate a bunch of like moments with me from that scene in Cheetah Girls 2 where they go to Park Güell and sing Strut. Like, if I feel connected to a place through reading or watching something, like, I will want to go to that place and feel like I'm like a character in the story. Like, the vibes were so good. This made me want to go to London even more than I wanted to before reading this. And Miami too, because it's a love letter to Miami, even though it mostly takes place in London, which is cool. There's going to be a companion novel about, I think, the aunt in this book, about her growing up in Miami. It's called, I think it's called A Miami Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak. I'm pretty sure. Already pre-ordered it. It comes out in November. I'm so excited for it. But yeah, spring summer vibes. Here you go. The next one I thought might be good. Maybe like spring vibes. It's called Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. This is the first in a duology about a girl who lives in America and finds out that she is a princess of Japan. So she moves there to get to know her dad, who she never really knew. Hence why people say this is like a Princess Diaries vibe type of story. And getting to know and fall in love with Japan, which, you know, is a big part of her, but she doesn't really know it that well. So that was really cool, getting to see her like fall in love with this aspect of herself and this place, and just seeing her learn how to be a princess, and like the love The love story is crazy. Love story is so intriguing. It just like kept me on my toes and kept surprising me. And I have also read the second one. Actually, okay, I had this weird like reading slump last year where I kept reading books and then stopping 10 or 20% before the end, even if I really liked the book. I don't know what I was going through. So I need to just read the ending of it and just like check it as read on Goodreads already, because it was really good. It has nothing to do with the book, it has to do with me. Actually, it was because in the book like something really stressful was going on with the love story, and like I took a break and then didn't go back to it. But anyway, yes, I would read this. Spring, summer, YA vibes, good vibes, I would read this. Also, these are both Reese's YA book club picks, which I wish she would have more YA book club picks, but anyway. The next one is Kisses and Croissants by Sophie Janot. I love this book. I mean, I'm recommending it. This a little bit filled the void in my heart that Anne and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins left, which is also a great one. I'm looking at it right now. Also a wonderful, you know what, let me go get it. I need to talk about it. Those of you who are familiar with me and or my channel may already know that Anne and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, this is like the collector's edition, is one of my favorite books of literally all time. It's about a girl who goes to boarding school in Paris for senior year of high school, falls in love, makes friends. Again, the atmosphere, the setting, the vibes made me want to be in Paris. It is so good. I think I've read this 6 or 7 times at this point. I have it in Italian. I turn to it sometimes and read pieces of it in Italian. If you didn't know, Sono Italiana. And oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so I'm sorry. I should go back to the other one I was talking about. Kisses and Croissants is about a girl from New York, goes to Paris for the summer because she gets into this really exclusive academy for ballet. She wants to be a professional ballerina. And it was so interesting getting to read about her process of like being in, I think they're in the Nutcracker, being in this show, the dedication it takes, even reading about like the calluses on her feet after a long day of dancing. Like, I could trust this writer that she knew what she was talking about. I don't know if she's a ballerina, but I felt like she knew what she was doing and I trusted her to show me and teach me. Does that make sense? Like, that's when you know the writing's good, when you can like trust the author. I felt the same way about the subplot in here. She and this guy that she falls for, they are trying to find this Degas painting that's apparently like from her family, from the lineage, and so she's trying to track it down. Even just that, the story of the artwork. Yeah, no, summertime in Paris. Please read this. Sorry if the English shifted, I ran out of space on my SD card. We know how those things go. Anyway, the next one. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This takes place in February, which is like technically winter, but the romance vibes are so good in here that you could read it in the spring and summer. Of course, I also always recommend Better Than the Movies, but like I talk about that so much and I figured I should talk about Lynn Painter's second YA, The Do-Over. This is about a girl who's stuck in a time loop on Valentine's Day. She basically had like the most horrible Valentine's Day ever. Like her boyfriend dumps her, like all this stuff. And then she has to keep reliving the day over and over and over again. And she keeps like running into this guy who's like all moody and stuff from her class. I think we know where this is going. I want to reread this. I just read it in like, I don't know, November? Yeah, but I want to read it again. It's so good. It's just so good. My next recommendation is a book that I just finished reading yesterday, and it's Once and For All by Sarah Dessen, which takes place in the summertime. A lot of Sarah Dessen's books take place in like beach towns over the summer, so I would check out her work for the small town beach vibes, honestly. This one is about a girl whose mom owns this wedding planning company and the girl works for it too, and then they hire this guy who she thinks is like super obnoxious, but like, again, we know how these things go. But she's also dealing with some trauma from her past, so perhaps look up trigger and content warnings for those. But yeah, it's just so good. It's so well written. I think I've read like 5 Sarah Dessen books at this point. I've liked some of them, not loved, but this one I love. So if you're gonna get into Sarah Dessen, I would go with this one. A lot of people call her the YA contemporary romance queen. Her writing is definitely a lesson in craft. If you want to be a writer and you want to write YA, I would highly recommend checking out some of her stuff. But yeah, I do definitely recommend this one. Good spring, summertime vibes. Just reading about the flowers they arrange at the weddings is very springy. And then like the beachy vibes for summer, you know? So yeah. The next one, I'm so happy to be seeing people hype this up online. It's called Neverification with Your Ex by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. They're actually a married couple. This is their 6th YA book they've published together. They also have 2 new adult books. And this one's about a girl and a guy who were best friends, and every summer they and their families would go to Malibu together and spend time at a beach house. This year's a little different because the 2 of them dated and then she dumped him and now she's teaching him how to get over her. Can you say trouble? It was good. It was dramatic in the best way. The banter was there. The love, the friendship, the vibes, the setting, the atmosphere. It was all there. It was immersive. I think I read this in like 24 hours. It was so good. Definitely got that summer vibe. You can read that in the spring too, I'm telling you. The next one, such a good YA rom-com. I don't know why it's not getting more hype. It's actually beyond me. I think people just need to know about it. It's called This Time It's Real by Anne Liang. This came out recently in like February. It's a YA, it takes place in high school, fake dating in Beijing. It paints the most beautiful atmospheric picture. I know I keep using that word, but picture of Beijing, like cotton candy skies. It's pretty. Like it makes me want to go to Beijing. This girl and this guy start fake dating. He's a famous K-drama actor. She wrote an essay where she claimed she fell in love with someone. The essay went viral. Now she needs a fake boyfriend. He needs her for I don't remember what reason. Maybe like to clean up his image or something. The love between them is so sweet, so beautiful. They have so many cute moments together because they have to go on all these fake dates. But then real feelings come up. It's... Please read this. Especially if you like boy falls first stories, which are my cup of tea. Friends to lovers, boy falls first, my kind of thing. Please read this. Sorry again if the angle changed. I just need to delete stuff from my SD card once and for all. Once and for all. That's what it's called, haha. Okay, let's talk about this. I'm reading it right now, but I'm gonna recommend it. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't recommend it, but I'll just tell you it's giving spring summer vibes. Happy Place by Emily Henry just came out last week. This is about a group of friends who hang out at this house that one of the friends' dads owns, but now they're gonna sell the house, so it's their last hurrah. So all the friends are there. They've been friends for 10 plus years from college. Now they're adults, living their lives, but they always meet back up at this house. And the protagonist has to fake date her ex-fiance because nobody knows that they broke up. They were together for 10 years, broke up, no one knows. And they can't say anything because 2 of the friends want to get married that week at the house. Tension. Vibes. Banter. She is the queen of banter, I have to say. Really enjoying this one. Only 75 pages in. I want to recommend it, but I shouldn't because I'm not done reading it yet, but it's so... Ow. It's really good, okay? It's really good. So those are my spring and summer recommendations. I'm sure that I can do a part 2 if that's something that you guys are interested in. I would be happy to do it down the line. Definitely let me know if you're excited about any of these books. I mean, if you're like looking to read them or if you have read them. Obviously don't leave spoilers below. Thank you for supporting me, for clicking on this channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share with friends. I will leave my social media down below in case you want to connect in other places. And I will see you later. Bye!